Hey gorgeous, it's Ker-leen. Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. In today's video, I will be sharing a super quick maceration update on 5 fragrances. These 5 fragrances have surprised me in a good way. And if you're interested to hear why, then please keep watching. Hey friend, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join me for another one. And before we jump in, I want to say hi to those of you who are new here. Thank you for clicking on that thumbnail. On this channel, I talk luxury, I do review videos, I share my fragrance journey, a little bit of lifestyle here and there, and there's some encouragement in every single video. So if that sounds like your thing, then I would love to have you here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and also be sure to turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. The first fragrance I wanted to talk about is one of my favorite fragrances. This is Latte Abyad by XOXO. I did not think I could love this fragrance any more than I already do, but I love this fragrance even more now. It's so much better. Y'all, when I first received this one, it was beautiful. But what I've noticed is that when I first get my Arabian fragrances and when I spray them out for the first few times, there is like this presence of alcohol. And what I've come to realize is it's because the fragrances are so fresh off of the production floor. So they haven't really had time to mature, to macerate. And so I've come to expect that with a lot of my fragrances. But outside of that kind of like alcohol blast, once this started to settle down, I fell in love with it because I felt like this one was the closest thing I have smelled thus far to what it's intended to dupe, which is Bianco Latte. Of all the dupes I have smelled so far, this one is my absolute favorite. It's just gotten so much better with time, y'all. Y'all, this one is so much richer, so much more potent. Right now, it has completely taken over my space. It smells so good, so rich, so creamy, slightly salty, velvety, which is all characteristic of that beautiful caramel that's in this fragrance. As I've mentioned before, one of the reasons why this dupe stands out to me is because the notes are identical to the original. This one, y'all, is just everything. I absolutely love it. It's gotten so much more potent and bold and richer. So when I spray it out, there's a beautiful sillage that lingers in the air and it projects at more than an arm's length for like the first 2-3 hours. This is super duper long lasting. It stays on my clothes over the 8-hour mark. And outside of that, the scent itself is just so beautifully blended. I find it to be very smooth and creamy. And this one is less milky and is more caramel forward. I really do love the way they did this one, and it stays true to the original's essence. This is Latte Abyad by XOXO. The next fragrance that completely shocked me and developed and matured for the better is Athena by Maison Alhambra. I was not expecting what this one is giving nowadays. I am totally stunned by this fragrance right here. It changed for the better. When I first picked this one up, I remember saying that this one felt a little bit more like chalky and creamy and much less aromatic than Lattafa's Angham. However, this one now smells extremely similar to Angham. And because of that, it now smells extremely close to the original fragrance that it's a dupe for, which is Burberry's Goddess. This smells so much closer to Goddess than I initially thought, because it has developed and matured into something that is so much more aromatic. Now that may be good news for some and bad news for others, but to my nose, this now has that aromatic quality that it was missing before. These are the notes that are showing online for this fragrance. However, to this day, I feel like they're leaving some things out of these notes because it just seems like something's missing. However, these are the notes, and the notes are different from Angham, but this now smells a lot closer to Angham. Oh yes, y'all. Athena has changed, and Athena has gotten much more aromatic, and it smells very similar to Angham and to the original fragrance. Oh my goodness, this has gotten so much better. I was about to declutter this one, not because I don't love it, but because I was reaching for Angham a lot more. However, I have now reconsidered. I will be keeping this one. Instead of buying a backup for Angham, I now have this one. So Y'all, this has gotten so much better. This is Athena by Maison Alhambra. The next one I wanted to talk about is Fama by Gulf Orchid's Maison Asrar line of fragrances. I think I've had this one for like a couple of months now, and I wore it a lot when I first got it, but I put it down for a little bit and I'm revisiting it to see how it's developed since I first started experiencing it. This bottle just kind of grew on me. I really love the bottle now. It just feels very ornate and it's an experience. And this is the juice. And the juice is so dark and beautiful. The way the juice looks is how I experience this fragrance. It's very rich and sweet and syrupy. Oh, it's so good. It's gotten a little bit more fluffy. The gourmand accord that's in here that gives marshmallow has gotten a little fluffier. When I first got this, it wasn't like a fluffy marshmallow. It was more like a syrupy marshmallow. And it's still very syrupy, but the marshmallow that I smelled in here at first now feels more fluffy. And I like that. I like that. This is still a beautiful fragrance. With this particular fragrance, I get moderate projection. It lasts on me between 6 to 8 hours where I can still smell it on my clothes. It's such a beautiful fragrance. This one feels a little smoother now. The edges are rounded out. It got a little bit more fluffy, like I mentioned. So I feel like this one has done a beautiful job of maturing, and it's much bolder and richer now. So this is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. It is supposed to be a dupe for Love Don't Be Shy by Ker-leen. However, as I mentioned in my recent comparison video, I feel like this is not as neroli forward, and it's also missing that Ker-leen DNA that is in every single one of their fragrances. Outside of that, this is a gorgeous fragrance. It's so good, y'all. This is one of the ones where I feel like we are getting so much quality, so much value for what we pay. And so I would highly recommend this one. This one is Fama by Gulf Orchid's Maison Asrar line. The next fragrance I wanted to share with you all is Ministry of Gourmand's Tiramisu Spiculus. This fragrance was gorgeous when I first received it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was satisfactory to me as far as performance, and the scent was absolutely delicious. This is such a delicious fragrance. This is like a literal gourmand. It definitely smells like food, and I'm here for it. I love a good sweet smelling, edible smelling fragrance. This one has gotten stronger, deeper, more potent, more long lasting, richer, and just overall better with time. Oh my goodness, the spice in here is absolutely gorgeous. This smells like a super sweet, moist, beautifully spiced tiramisu. It is so delicious. And I feel like the spice is more prominent now. It smells sweeter now. It's bolder. It has more of a presence now. It feels richer now. This is just so beautiful. The notes have really come together. I think I've had this one for maybe 2 to 3 months now. This is a different fragrance. This fragrance is even more amped up than it was previously. It smells so good. I can't take this tester strip away from my nose. That's how good this smells. This is so delicious. If you want to smell like a snack, y'all, wow, 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 wow. This one definitely projects farther now. And for me, it was pretty long lasting before, but I would say what has changed is it's blended together better. It's richer, it's sweeter. I got that spice right away. And overall, I feel like I can almost taste that tiramisu now. It's almost like a very realistic tiramisu scent. I almost feel like I can smell and see and taste the texture, the sweetness, how beautifully moist that dessert is, just the essence of that dessert. It's almost like I can taste it. Not a strong coffee note in this one, by the way. The coffee note is very, very subdued. And now that it's matured, I feel like I get a lot less coffee. I feel like I'm getting more of the other notes as opposed to the coffee. But this is Tiramisu Spiculus by Ministry of Gourmand. And last but certainly not least is one that has absolutely blown me away. This is the other twin that came out with the Ministry of Gourmand launch, and this is Banana Bliss. Banana Bliss has absolutely left me almost speechless. This is so good. I feel like this performs like a moderate to high projecting fragrance. Now that this one has matured, it feels almost like an extrait. It's so long lasting. I also find that the candiness of that banana note that was giving me like banana runts candy is a lot calmer now. So this gives a little less candy on first blast. The banana note does stick around for well into the mid, but I think one of the major improvements for me with this fragrance is the banana note doesn't give as much candy as it was giving me before. This fragrance has this buttery essence that comes through as it starts to dry down. You know how when you're baking and you're putting together a batter that is sweet, how sometimes you have to add salt to kind of add some balance to the flavor? That's what I feel like is happening in this fragrance. It's sweet, but there's a counterbalance that comes off like a buttery richness and a subtle saltiness in this fragrance. So that it's coming across almost like a caramel note would, where it's sweet, it's syrupy, it's sticky feeling, but it's a little bit salty. This fragrance lasts over 10 hours on the clothes. This one is one of the ones that has a beautiful lingering sillage, and it projects at more than an arm's length for the first 2, 3, maybe even 4 hours. This one has gotten so much better scent-wise and performance-wise. I'm so impressed with this one, y'all. So impressed. The banana is still not giving like a realistic banana, but it's a lot less runts candy. It just smells like a fun, not overly synthetic banana note. So it's not realistic, but it's not like synthetic or plastic smelling. It's just delightful. This one takes the cake for fragrances that have blown me away as far as how good they are post maceration. This is Banana Bliss by Ministry of Gourmand. We have come to the end of this video, and I want to say thank you so much for still being here. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like on your way out, because that helps my channel continue to grow. And if you love fragrance content, I make quite a bit of it on this channel, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you never miss another video. Before we part ways, I just want to remind you today to keep letting your beautiful light shine. Keep showing up as your truest self. Whatever room you step foot in, whatever environment you find yourself in, keep showing up as your truest self. The world needs you in all of your beautiful uniqueness. I will be over here doing the exact same thing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye.